Hello everybody, this is Lee Phillips, Journey of Truth. It is a Monday morning around 8 o'clock a.m. and it is pouring down rain. It is Monday, April the 7th. And we're looking at the alleyway right here. We see the French drain has got so much water pressure pushing down that it's blowing the water out. You can see it just blowing it out right through the drain and up through the gravel. And it's still running over. And this is a moderate rain, not a real big heavy rain. We got lightning going on, but it'll all be all right once we get our fence line done. We're gonna take the block and we're gonna remove the chain link, put a brick block curbing up through there, and that'll take care of that. When we get ready to do our new fence. So folks, y'all bear with me a little bit. I want to try and get y'all some photographs of the water drainage. You can see our ditch right here is pretty full. Trying to get my equipment adjusted. Not every day I have to keep up with an umbrella that leaks. Woo, we got some lightning going on. So we got the water flowing down the ditch pretty good. Going in the drain there. Coming out. Going down the drain right here. There's somebody's Dorito bag. There's a 3-foot long stick that's gonna get washed in there. Looks like a little debris blocking that right there. A lot of water running across the street here. I gotta get my bearings straight on where I'm holding my phone at. All this rain. I need a bigger umbrella. So we're gonna walk down here. Woo, that was some good lightning. Oh yeah, we got some water in the pond. We got a lot of water off the street right here. Now I'm not getting in the construction zone. I'm up here in the unmarked area, but we got water running off the hill here, running down. And yep, we got some water in the pond. Try and get a view right here of the culvert drain coming under the road. We got the water coming out right there of the culvert coming into the pond. They were out here Saturday working, and it looks like they opened that up a little bit right there Wind's picking up a little bit. Wind always picks up more on the backside of the storm as it's moving on out. The lightning is what we call cloud lightning. It's not like the bolt lightning that you have coming down on the ground. There's a whole bunch of rock debris in the road right here. Alright, so I'm going to try and walk quick and get around to the other end of the street here and go down to Covington Street so that we can see how the water in the ditches are draining down through there, going into the retention pond. And this is just a little moderate rain. Woohoo! Yeah, I think the heaviest part of the rain might be over now. But as we can see, all the water from downtown, in one way or another, gets funneled down to Covington Street. All this water here that runs off out of the alley and across the street and in front of our house, it all goes down to Covington Street through that drain I just showed you right there that runs down through there. And we're going to take a look at that on the other end of it down here, and I'll show you. But all this water from Pecan Street and the downtown area, all the water from the town green, it all makes its way down here to Covington Street. All the water from the Methodist Church parking lot and their grounds comes into the drainage that comes under the road and comes over here. And all the water from the road doesn't make it into a drain. It runs across the top of the ground because, as you can see right here, the drain on the ditch, there is no ditch really on this side of the road. This drain is elevated a good 10 inches higher than what the sidewalk is right here, so there's no way for any of the water to go in that drain right there. So it all runs out and erodes the ground right here And that's been a long-standing problem because they have continuously put rock in here on that side to keep it from washing out, but it continues to wash out. And you can see all the water that runs off of the hill comes down into this drain on the ditch on this side. And you put all that together at one time, and if it's raining really, really hard, it's gonna flood Covington Street out pretty bad down through here. Now, water on this side of the street, all the water that runs off that paved area in Main Street comes down, and all the grass has been overgrown in this area right here where the dumpster's at. And so the water gets turned out into the road. Some of it makes it into the ditch right here, but it generally just runs out in the road, and the road is the pathway going down. Because as you can see, all these ditches are completely backfilled with debris from years of not being maintained. So the drain line from Covington Street that I pointed out, where our water comes across and comes down, that drain line comes out right there. Now that drain line is filled with sediment, so there is only not even half of the pipe that allows water to come out because it's half full of sediment. And then the water comes in on this side and goes down this drain right here, and we still have water in the road that runs down. So you can look on this side over here and see the ditch is completely full. The rain is slowing down and stopping some now, but imagine if this rained like this for several hours. This whole area would be inundated with so much water. Now you can see there's already erosion taking place right here around this drain, but when all this construction gets done, this tree will probably be gone too. They'll probably cut it down. But at this point, this drain is doing its job because all this water is running unobstructed down through there. Unlike this other side, which is all obstructed because the ditches aren't maintained. That one is full. This one is backed up full with debris. And then they get the water that runs out into their yard because the ditch can't handle all the water because it's full of debris, and it turns all the water into their yard. So we got the water coming down this side and going into this drain right here, which comes down and attaches to the culvert drain that comes across the road. Now the top of the ground over here, they got some grass that sprouted up and growing, and this rain is going to help it, and it's not being washed away that bad. It's pretty much holding in place, and it'll look good when the grass gets growed up. We've got a little water coming across the road right here because the elevation of the road is not up to the black asphalt. This is just the concrete base that's covering the culvert that goes under. So yeah, they were working Saturday and they dug out this area where the culvert is exposed. And so right now, if you look over across at the wall over there where the spillway is, the water level is up to the top of the 2 black pipe, and those are 14-inch pipes, and there's a 6-inch pipe below that. So we're looking at 20 inches of water in the pond right now at the drain in the wall, at least. And as you can see, they got stake markers where they surveyed areas around the pond, and they pretty much got their elevation pretty much spot on with their markers that they got, showing where the water line should be at when the water is at the top of the black pipes. Now, I'm gonna guess, I'm not gonna walk over there, but I'm gonna guess that the pipes that are still going across the road are higher than what the pipes in the wall are, because the new pipes have not been put in going across the road. So water will have to build up in that area high enough to go through those pipes, and we might not get enough rain for it to do that, because I'm not seeing the water over there in that hole on the other side of the wall at that level. So we've got the drain right here at Bobby Boss, and you can see all the debris in the road from where the where the rain washed out across the road. And I'm going to show y'all where it washed out from. It's not going in the ditch over here, because the ditches are overgrown, and right now the water is over the top of my feet. That's how thick it is on the road. 2 inches of water on the road. And that's because all the water from the church back there comes right down through these folks' yard right here and floods right into the ditch, which runs into the road, because the drains under the driveways are completely stopped up. There's limbs and all kinds of stuff in the road. But years of neglect on our ditches have caused some of these problems. These ditches on this side are over half full of debris. There's no connection on the culvert going through, because all that up through there is all been filled in with debris. So when this water hits this curve right here at Bobby Boss, it all gets spilled out into the street. And to me, my opinion, that's a safety hazard, because that can cause a car to hydroplane down here. Not that anybody should be running the stop sign, but if you've watched any of these videos, you know that everybody runs these stop signs down here. And it doesn't take much to hydroplane tires, especially if you're running tires that don't have no tread on them. They're wore out because you can't afford to get new ones because they're so expensive. Well, that was a big boom sound. Sounded like an impact of a car accident. Alright, so we'll take a look from right here. And the water going in this drain is coming out right here. And it's running down where they packed all the dirt in this ditch that was down through here, so it wouldn't be unsafe, and then some of the water runs over the wall right there down into the pond. But got a little trash debris floating around down there in the pond, and that'll be a regular thing once it's all done. All the trash that gets left behind by people or thrown out their windows in the downtown area will eventually make its way down to the retention pond and be a pollutant for the area. So that'll be another job the city workers will have to do, keeping the pond cleaned out, because we can't have this being a trash hole here, making our town look bad. City's going to have to really make this look presentable and functionable for a downtown area. It really should be designed as some kind of walk-around park, a place to take your dogs and animals, and it needs to be utilized for a purpose that can serve the public instead of just being a hole in the ground, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because at a cost of over $1 million, we got a lot invested in this hole in the ground. So it needs to be presentable so that it can be used by the public and not just fenced off and say, okay, well, for security reasons we have to fence it off. No, it needs to be made into a park. At this stage, it's very easy to design and do. If the plans are not already engaged, they need to think about it. Hey, if nothing else, since all the trees are gone and there's a lot of access to sunlight in this area, we could make it a place to come and lay out in the sun. Everybody just come around and lay out in the sun, get you a tan. Bring your fold-out chair, your radio. Spend the day at the Loganville Retention Pond getting a tan and having fun. Yeah, that's what we can do. All right, folks, I'm gonna go get me some breakfast. Thought I'd show y'all some water in the pond on this Monday morning. So, like always, y'all be safe out there. Be good to one another. Do something kind for someone. Make a difference in someone's life in a positive way. And y'all have a blessed day.